back to my channel again. This is Sajek, and now we're talking about the part 2. So this part 2 is going to talk about more about the nature and how it affects human lives and the environment and things, because last time we talked about a lot of culture and there's a lot of things here. So like for those of you who didn't see the part 1, first you definitely should. Basically, this is an area where it went viral, and you probably know about it, so I don't want to talk about it that much. And the first part, I talked about the culture, the types of natures, different things about this area, certain parts of this area, like the culture essentially, like how people actually work around here, not actually how the environment shapes around here and makes people affect that way and do different things. I've talked a little about the history, about the history and the environment, but not a lot. So I'm going to talk about the history and how nature affected it, nature and everything like that. I don't think I'm going to talk about history that much, but again, I do have to talk about. Oh, look at that! This is really okay. Okay. You can see that the nature is actually more growing in here, so it's less like the Himalayas and more like the green area. Again, I did talk all of this about in part 1, so you should probably skip a little part so you can see it. But there's grass all around here, so like the grass is actually affecting the environment a lot, because there are a lot of bugs living here. I've seen one June bug. I don't know if that's a June bug, but I've seen one June bug around some on resort, but that's just talking. But there's a lot of stuff here that's super cool, because like the environment's growing into the human's properties. Like that's why it has to be constantly cut down, because like the grass is going to eventually go into the asphalt and mix with the road, making it much weaker, which is really bad. I don't know if the grass will do that, but it might. So that's a bad idea, bad area to put it. And you can see that some of them have been cut down. You can definitely see some of the soil. This grass has been cut down. And it looks like this is like going to be construction spot eventually. But no, this is about the environment. But you can see that the environment is basically running into the people. So that makes actually a lot of sense why they have to be so creative with these houses, because they actually have to figure out a way to make the grass not grow into them and make it like non-bug free. They have to work really hard to do that, but that just is normal. Yeah. And but the grass then also actually affects a lot of wars. Like if there is a war here, there could be insurgents hiding everywhere. I talked more about the insurgents in part 1, so if you want to go there, you just go there. But yeah, we're going to the shady area. You can see. And again, the lights back. So you can definitely see how the grass is growing somewhere more faster rather than in this area. This is growing a lot faster with that, but there's not going to be any grass growing there around. This is much faster trees, like fruit seeds and stuff. But for now, this is just like the area. It's eventually all going to be covered with darkness, I think. Like around decades later, it's going to happen. There's a lot of people here too. But I talked about that also in part 1, so yeah. You can see that the grass looks like it's infinite, but that's only because there's a lot of darkness there that makes it like look like there's infinite amounts of grass, but there's not. So that's pretty interesting. That's more about the view, but the view is also technically the nature. When we get to a better spot where we can see the view, I will talk about the mountains and the plains and everything like that. All about that. Yeah. So you can see that the grass didn't actually grow there like 2 or 3 decades ago, but now it just flowed into that area. That makes it another military hotspot for military insurgents and also military to stay there. This is really this could be really heavily guarded. It has a lot of potential, I think, of being a military base or something like that. And there's east now, so people come here in their vacations and things, so it's not really needed to have a lot of military camps. There's also you can see a lot of advertisements, but that's more about like not the natures. One of the funniest things is that the advertisements are getting covered by the grass. That's funny. But you can also see that those lines are eventually going to be, if they don't get like enough grass is cut, then those lines can fall over and cause hazard everywhere. And that's actually a nature's problem. But you can also probably see that there can be a variety of different things that can grow here. Like I can imagine there to be both mango trees, grapes, and everything like that can grow around here. There's a variety of things that can grow around here, and of course also grass can grow around here. Like grass can obviously grow around here. But look at that. That's more foresty area. That's less like a jungly area. Yeah, this is a more jungle area, but if you see behind on the background, that's more like a forest area. There's a variety of like different biomes as well around here, like different types of areas. Like it's like you can see the horizon. There's like the savannah, and there's a forest. There's jungle like areas where we're going right now. So there's different things around here, and it's pretty cool when you see it in real life. Like you're probably seeing this on a screen, but if you do come here in real life, it looks really cool on how many different biomes and things you have. And there's also like I cannot see any bamboo growing around here yet. So for those of you who watched part 1, no, I haven't found it yet. But it's around a little deeper, like around Khagrachori, and that's like the area where bamboos mostly come from. Like I saw a lot of bamboo trees around the entrance of Sajek, so that actually looks really cool. You can also see that there's like these different grass and things, but that's like it. But the environment doesn't really actually shape this area a lot. Let me explain why. So there are different ways the environment can affect like the lives of humans. They can affect like the area and the things. Like nature can affect the environment a lot. But the problem is that the nature is actually integrated to the environment here. Like it's fully integrated. Like it cannot grow further. Like that's like the limit to get it on. Like you can see that the grass is like absolutely on everywhere. It can't go further. So that's like it's like fully embedded. We have given enough time for it to be fully embedded to the environment, and it's just fully nature now. So that's pretty cool. But that's like about it, because we cannot talk about more, because there's like you can see that the nature is in environment now. But what do we do next? I guess well, we are gonna kind of compare it with other mountain ranges and nature areas basically. So what is the difference between this and park? Obviously the steep areas, but the difference between the park here is that the terrain is really rapidly changing. You can see that this road really rapidly changing. That's because the terrain has changed rapidly. They have to do a lot of terraforming to get this done. So that's actually a really fun area of talking about terraforming. And no, this is not Mars terraforming. Terraforming has a meaning. It turns like you are turning things into the way you want it to. That's like terraforming. And then you can also see that the grass again is starting to go into these shady areas, patches. You can start seeing that if you look at this area. Like the grass rapidly changes, the terrain rapidly changes, and the environment embeds into that area. Like the nature embeds into the environment in that area, which is embedding into the terrain of that area, which is actually not that complicated in terrain terms. Like you are not actually complicated in mixing things all over, so it's like super easy to figure out like what is going to be next. If you just see the terrain, you can figure out everything, what's going to happen and what's going to work. And if you can predict the terrain, then you will going to fully predict everything, basically everything other than humans. That's about it really that we can talk about. So bye bye.